What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Blue Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And quick reminders to download and play Detroit Become Human and Horizon Chase Zero, both offered on PlayStation Plus. You can download those, play those, and come back at the end of the month for Plus Club. Let us know what we thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of those games. And our game of the month is Final Fantasy X, randomly picked. Make sure to play that. Or if you played in the past, or if you plan on playing it now for some reason, you've never played it before, which pretty much is what I'm doing this month, do that. And we'll be talking about that on Game of the Month at the end of the month. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you'd prefer to listen to us. And we have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all time. If you got something you want us to talk about, want us to watch, it's the perfect place outside of the comments to let us know. You can also just talk to us about random shit. We're there all the fucking time. All right, Tasty Tuesday. Real quick, if you're expecting anything on Monster Hunter, I know there's some new videos that have dropped recently. I will be doing a stream this week to cover most of that. I'll be doing it live, so if I'm not getting a video you want me to watch, hit me up in the comments or in the chat, and I'll watch it. Also, we did not do a Tasty Cast. We were up on Mount Rainier getting sunburnt, or at least I was, and my whole body hurts, and it was so worth it, but yeah, we didn't get back till very late, so I'm sure you guys understand. I will make up for it with the streams. So, yeah, back to it. Tasty Tuesday, we got 3 bits of news, all kind of some interesting ones, and yeah, let's just jump into it. So first bit of news is the co-creator of Halo, who worked on Halo 1, 2, 3, and I think kind of oversaw Halo Reach, created his own studio called V1 Interactive, which is part of Private Division, which I believe is a 2K company. They recently came out with a teaser, which we will watch. It's only 45 seconds long, for a game that they are calling Disintegration, a name I like. I am a big fan of The Cure, one of the best albums ever made. And it is a sci-fi first-person shooter. There's not a whole lot of info on it, but this guy has a pedigree in the field of sci-fi first-person shooters, obviously, as he is the co-creator of Halo. They also promise that there will be a full reveal of this game at this upcoming Gamescom, which is August 19th, right around the corner in Germany. So, yeah, we'll watch this, and then we'll talk about the prospect of what we're possibly getting and what we thought of the teaser. Anything to say before we jump into this?
Not really.
No, I got nothing to say for the rest of the episode. It's all up to you, Seth. Sunburnt, pink face, 3, 2, 1.
Still recovering from the nature therapy.
And exactly. Go.
Smooth.
Looking at like a spaceship. Looks
like
kind of like a spaceship, which I think fits in the whole sci-fi thing.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're getting that full reveal in Gamescom. We saw a spaceship, I'm assuming. The music had a good build. I'm a big music guy, so I kind of dug it. Could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. And yeah, sci-fi spaceship, Disintegration, logo. What do we think? What do we think also about this dude, this company making a brand new FPS, a sci-fi FPS? And yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing I want to say is that even though we didn't get to see really much of anything, it was still very well done in the small amount you got. The camera motions were very smooth. The visuals were very good. The music went with it very well, and I liked the design of it a lot. So some promising stuff just in that regard. Obviously,
way more out of you than I thought I was going to get with that. Typically, shows like, oh, I'll have to find out when they show us something.
Well, and then that brings me to obviously I'll have an opinion when they talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I was just waiting for that, and it'd be like, pass the ball back to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But oh yeah, I mean it was pretty decent. Teasers are usually pretty meh. As far as a teaser goes, I do think that was done very well. So I do appreciate being able to see you kind of get an idea when you see like the design behind the ship of like the style they're going to go for and stuff like that. And obviously the music was very, I don't know if somber is the word I want, but kind of sets the tone. So,
And progressive. It had that build.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm sure we'll watch it when the Gamescom footage starts coming out. We usually try to cover most of the events. So,
Oh, yeah.
But other than
Yeah.
that, it's great to see this guy still working. Obviously, Halo is great, and it was absolutely huge for consoles when it comes to shooting games. And then,
When it comes to shooting,
and
not a lot.
it'll be interesting to see what he can do outside of like that one franchise. And I think that's really important for a lot of people when they get stuck in something for a long time. Obviously, he's a fan of sci-fi and shooting games, but
Hey, me too.
he doesn't have to make Master Chief again. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that though. So
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna emphasize I got way more out of you than I thought I would, which is great. I'm glad that you had something to say about it. I'm gonna read the fuck into this quite a bit, but there's a couple things I want to kind of throw out here. First off, this dude worked on Halo. Everybody knows what Halo is. Halo's legendary. Halo's great. He worked on the good ones. So there's promise there. The prospect of a new first-person shooter being made by somebody who worked on Halo is exciting to me only because we're in a weird fucking place right now with first-person shooters.
Yeah.
I'm playing all these fucking new JRPGs and shit. I'm loving them. I'm playing all these fucking games that are making a comeback. First-person shooters are kind of in limbo right now. I mean, like, you got Call of Duty and some games on Steam. I mean, like, you could say Battlefield, but it took a fucking big dip in the last, like, 3 iterations.
Doom and Wolfenstein.
Fair, but those are single player. I'm talking about like
Sure.
and this could be a single player game, but still like I feel like since this dude worked on Halo, he will probably make a game similar in the sense that we'll get a single player and a multiplayer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He could just go the multiplayer route, could go the single player route. But that is a good thing you brought up. Is I loved both of those games, and they don't get mentioned enough when it comes to the broader picture. But like, it's just weird that we live in a time right now where like FPS used to be oversaturated, and to some people that I even know personally, they still kind of think it is.
Yeah.
It really isn't if you look at the fucking genre. There's not a whole lot of games competing with like Call of Duty right now, outside of like Overwatch, but that's kind of like kind of fucking gone at this point. I know the dedicated Overwatch fans play it quite a bit. If you're watching, you're like, where's people playing?
That's not even the same type of shooter.
I'm just saying, though, when it
no.
comes to first-person shooters, you're playing those fucking like indie shooters on Steam. Like a lot of the tax shooters, which I wish would fucking make a comeback in a big way. But like, or you're playing military shooters or things that are trying to be like Call of Duty. So getting a new first person shooter in the mix, being produced by Take-Two, having someone who's worked on Halo before working on it, is promising. This game could come out could be complete shit.
Oh yeah.
But it's exciting for me because we need fucking some new blood, some new big budget new blood in the first person shooter market. So that's cool. Kind of like what you were saying with the teaser, it didn't show much at all, but what it did tell us is there's spaceships in it, and they're really emphasizing this fucking spaceship. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be part of the gameplay, which would be huge because we don't get that enough, if at all, in first-person shooters. You don't really do other things in first-person shooters typically, except for like shoot shit, or maybe get into a big mech and shoot shit.
Yeah, with
but
the
like,
exception of like Battlefield.
yeah, but it'd be really cool to get a game where you are shooting stuff and then you hop into a fucking ship. I mean, it's kind of an old reference, and I'm sure there's ones that are closer to now that I could be referencing, but I'm not. But like, even like Shadows of the Empire, fucking back on N64.
Oh, yeah.
Even back then, you're running around shooting shit, and then there's space levels and stuff.
Right.
Not saying this needs to be like that, but like something that mixed it up would be really fucking cool. So I don't know. Again, I might be reading into this too far, but just them spending 45 seconds to show us the fucking ship, which I think is a pretty cool design. I like the way it looks. It kind of reminds me of Eve a bit. It's pretty cool. I like the name. I think the logo looks cool. Again, reading into this very, very far. And the music was cool. The tone's cool. I can already tell kind of tonally where they're kind of going with this. It has that kind of like dun 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 like Halo thing, but a little more mysterious and gritty. So I'm actually excited to see what they have to show at Gamescom. They said full reveal, so I'm assuming we're going to see quite a bit. And with this being kind of my first introduction to this game, it's going to be right around the corner when I get to see more on it. So I'm actually pretty excited to find out. And if I see it and it's like some cheap ass Unity engine, not bashing Unity engine, it's great, but for what it is. But you know, if something they just kind of like threw together to make some money, that would kind of suck. But yeah, have no expectations at all. But I'm definitely curious.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say on that?
No, I pretty much said everything I had to say on it. So
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think about Disintegration. What do you think about a new sci-fi first-person shooter? What kind of game do you think this is going to be? Do you think it's going to be fully single-player multiplayer, or just multiplayer only? I know a lot of people are kind of dabbling and just making multiplayer games nowadays when it comes to shooters because they work. I think this will be a battle royale game. I doubt that. Yeah, what's your overall thoughts on this? What do you think about V1 Interactive? And are you a fan of the Halo series or any of them? Typically, when I talk to anybody, there's a Halo they liked. So
yeah,
it's been around for a long time, and you know people fell out or got into it at certain points. I know people got into it on Halo 3, which was crazy to me because it's like my least favorite one. But Halo 2 for life, baby. Let us know everything you're thinking about right now in the comments below. Second bit of news.
as I'm sure many of you have seen,
Unsee it.
they had released a trailer for a Sonic movie. And after that reveal, a great boom happened across the internet of people's disapproval of Sonic's character design.
Wondering why there's a new demon possessed boy movie coming out called Sonic.
Who can't dodge dart gun.
Fucking dodge hundreds of missiles.
So there's some updates to this and some quotes. So I'm going to go through it real quick. They have not shown it yet, but producer Tim Miller has seen it and he thinks it's great. He quotes, "I think the fans will be pleased. Look, I was with the fans and so was Jeff Fowler, who's the movie's director. When the shit hit the fan, I went over there and said, the most important thing to do, man, is say I fucked up. He already sent out a tweet an hour before I got there. He's a good man. It was exactly the right way to handle that. The fans have a voice in this too. There is a right way to listen." The article here also goes on to say Fowler thanked fans for support and criticism and then said, "The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be." And one last bit to add to this is with that announcement, people were concerned that the VFX team would unfortunately, go into crunch to get this done. Though he did kind of give out a reassuring tweet with the hashtag "No VFX artists were harmed in the making of this movie," and then announced a new release date of February 14, 2020. So what do we think about really the response to the fan response and the direction they've decided to go with this?
It is completely unheard of in the last many years for somebody to get any kind of criticism and not instantly decide that you belong to some kind of group and you have an agenda and that's why you have that opinion. I'll keep it vague like that. So when they put out a movie that they expect people to give them money for and people saw that and went, "What the fuck are you doing?" They went, "Oh shit, you're right." And not only are they like, "Well, give it a shot," they went, "We're going to fucking fix this." That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not even like a recent thing either. That's like a never happens thing. Like nobody goes, "Man, we made this movie. Fucking let's try and sell it." People are like, "What the fuck is that little demon boy? And why are you calling him Sonic?" and then they go, "You know what? You're right. We're going to fucking redo him." Like when the hell's that happened?
Yeah.
That's crazy as shit. Now, obviously, my opinion may change once the new reveal happens, and I hope it happens soon because I'm really curious. But just because they're even putting that effort into this was like a no situation for me when I first saw it. I was like, no way. That's insane. I was like, these guys are fucking exploiting us video game fans like fucking people in movies always do when it comes to video game movies. Nothing new. They're just hoping we're going to give them money for something that we fucking have nostalgia for. But that they're doing this and reworking it because maybe their movie is good, maybe it is funny, maybe there is a story there worth a damn, that would have been completely clouded by the fucking awful design of Sonic.
Yeah.
Maybe that fix will make this movie watchable. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But because they are doing this, I may go see it regardless. Just because I would like to support people. When at the end of the day, if you create something, you're an artist, you're a creator of some kind, make what you want to make. I will always respect and back anybody making what the fuck they want to make. If you're trying to sell things to people, though, it's important to read the market and understand your consumer and never get angry at them if they don't want your product. You need to adjust to that. So there's a balance between the art and the fucking business you're running. And this kind of, not to say this is high art or anything, that's just a Sonic movie, but it's smart of them to do it. And I would love to see more people even hear out opinions like this. Like, not necessarily go, okay, we'll fix it for you. We'll make anything you want. But at least go like, that's an interesting point. You know, I heard you. Fucking, and not just go, fuck you. So this whole situation's just unheard of and really interesting. And I actually can't wait to see what it looks like. Yeah. If it's worse, it's going to be the biggest meme on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
If it's bad, all they got to do is make him just look like Sonic.
Yeah.
And I guarantee they made a name for this fucking movie by making that awful looking Sonic. If they made him look good, I guarantee people who were not going to see this will go see it then.
Yeah.
Now it's on their radar, and then they go, oh shit, they fixed it. That actually looks like Sonic. Yeah, let's go see if it's any good.
Yeah, it's crazy marketing at that point.
Yeah, like
unintentional, unless it was on purpose. Which
then they're fucking masterminds. Crap. Then they're actually Dr. Robotnik with this shit.
Yeah, I actually. Do you have any?
No.
More? Okay,
go ahead. I could rant for days.
I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you said there. I have to give them complete respect and credit for even like talking to the consumer the way they did, because we are in a time where a lot of companies view criticism as if, you know, we're telling them how to live their life. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like they're not, they've lost the meaning of the relationship between consumer and customer, and
point the finger and blame, be like, the systemic toxicity of these fucking gamer bros.
Yeah, and you know, regardless of whatever side of the spectrum you lay on, there's going to be shitty people on both sides. But at the end of the day, if you're selling a product to a person or a group of people, you have to make it appealing for them. And if they don't find it appealing and your response is, well, find it appealing, that's not the right approach.
Sorry, EA and all EA subsidiaries.
Yeah, it's just stupid. And to think that would actually work, or to allow people who work for you to respond in such a way, is crazy that it's so common right now. And these guys didn't do that.
Oh, it's the standard.
And even if you disagree, like Seth said, and your response is, we hear what you have to say, and we will take it in consideration. That is PR talk nonsense, but you didn't tell me to fuck off.
Still better than telling me I'm a fucking piece of shit. Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not giving you my money then. So see you later.
Even if so if the redesign is decent and the movie, even like the fan reviews come out and it's like a 5 out of 10, I still might go see it just to support the right PR that happened here. So, but
if there was a design you wanted them to do, what would it be? Do you have an opinion on that?
I just want to see, you know, I mean, I would go with Dreamcast Sonic, honestly, just because he is kind of more cartoony and goofy. And if they're going for kind of a comedic edge to the movie, I think that's the right approach to take. I think in a lot of the 2D ones, he's got a very serious demeanor. So,
yeah. My first choice is My Painting. They should take after that. My Painting takes after the old 90s Sonic that has the fat little belly and the big fucking round head.
Pissed off face.
Sometimes, yeah. Or the shocked one when he's drowning. And then, if they don't go that route, that'd be perfect too. If they just make the little fat boy with the little spiky head, it'd be perfect. If they don't do that, they should just fucking, while they get ready to throw us in the dumpster and light on fire, just like make one of the fucking crazy meme songs out there. And just fucking do one of those weird ones where he's like sliding on his ass, or like his legs are just moving in a weird way and he's just ridiculous looking.
I don't see that one happening.
I would see that.
I think a lot of people would probably go see that.
Because at that point, it's just like, we can't fix him. Fuck him up. And I'd be like, all right, let's do this. That's better.
All right, just fuck everything up.
At least we're just admitting that it's fucked at this point. But yeah, hopefully they do it. Hopefully they do a design that people can like. It's really impressive, again, to have already put in a CG character and then decide to put a new one in. So,
and push back the release date to do that.
Which you'd have to work with the fucking production company to do that as well.
Which Paramount, obviously.
I'm surprised they weren't like, no, put it out. We need to make that money. We need to take advantage of people's childhoods and get that money cheap and quick. Fuck them.
It is pretty surprising for a giant company like that.
That's why this whole thing's weird.
Yeah.
That guy's like, okay, hold on. We're going to work on this. And then Paramount's like, yeah, go ahead. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then you say anything about Disney movie and they fucking just tear your life apart. Fucking tell you can't do this, can't do that. We're going to fucking come get you.
You don't even get that. You just hear screaming and then Mickey shows up to arrest you.
Kicking your door in. What's wrong, Goofy?
Demonetized.
Yeah. Sorry. I fucked this channel by doing that. They'd be like, what was that laugh? That sounded very Disney-like. Sounded like something that has mouse ears. You know that guy? Yeah, you do. All right. Anything else you want to say on that?
No.
We're both surprised this is happening.
Yeah.
Hope for the best, of course. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about this situation? What do you think about the redesign? What would you like to see the redesign take after? Do you think they can pull this off? Do you think this will fix the situation? Do you think there's potential for people to go see this now? Were you going to see it anyway? And if they make it worse, would you go see it just to see the shit show? Although you'd be supporting dumb shit financially, telling them, do this again, which happens all the time. Let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Sonic and its reworked design. Last bit of news, I'm going to read straight off the article because there's quite a bit to this, but apparently Man of Medan, which is part of the new anthology series The Dark Pictures, made by the same guys who made Until Dawn, Supermassive Games, will have online and local multiplayer modes. So like I said, I'm just going to read this and then we'll talk about it. So players can still experience hold on. Supermassive Games has announced 2 new multiplayer modes for Man of Medan, the first horror game from its Dark Pictures anthology, which is already interesting because that means we're going to be getting more games within that universe. Players can still experience the game in solo mode, similar to the way Until Dawn worked, but those wishing to scream their way through the game with friends can do so online in shared story mode or on a sofa in movie night mode. Shared story mode allows 2 players to experience the story side by side in online co-op. Each player is given control of a different character, and at a certain point in the game, the story will branch off, giving each player a different perspective of the events. This is all new for me, so I'm just like, I gotta not react to this. In the video above, you can watch now. Movie night mode is a pass the pad local co-op mode for up to 5 players. At the start of each game, players assign themselves a character or multiple characters if fewer than 5 people are playing, and then the game will tell you when it's each person's go. At the end of each chapter, the game dishes out awards to each player to give them some fun reflections of how they played. Awards can range from something simple like who was the fastest at QuickTime events or who was the slowest at making decisions, to something more sinister like did their actions get someone killed. Crossplay is not supported for Man of Medan multiplayer, so any shared story sessions will need to be platform specific. Playing shared story mode will also affect the overall length of the game. When played solo or in movie night mode, you can expect the experience to last somewhere between 4 to 5 hours. The branching narrative of the shared story mode means that when players split, they will only experience certain scenes and will miss out on others. This is something that will reduce the overall playtime of the game to approximately 3.5 hours. The Dark Pictures anthology Man of Medan releases the 30th of August, right around the corner. All right, so similar to Until Dawn, a horror game with 2 different multiplayer modes, one in which will be changing the game length. You don't play horror games.
Nope.
It's not really your forte. You have dabbled every once in a while, but a lot of times you've just watched me play them.
Yeah.
And I feel like you kind of appreciate them. You just don't like to play them.
No, I mean that's really kind of the case in anything that I don't necessarily do. I think the best example of that is the Soul series.
Yeah.
I think those games are amazing. I just can't play them.
Yeah.
So
Chevy doesn't do adrenaline.
no,
That's kind of the thing. Anything that's meant to go,
he
doesn't want to do that.
Be mellow, man.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, fuck me up. Let's get crazy. I'll play a horror game and I'm just like calling shit out. I'm like, here we go. And it happens. I'm fucking cheap. Anyway, that being put out there for anybody who's new to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. What do we think about this?
I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is they're taking direction with this that was completely unexpected, but incredibly welcomed. The moment you mentioned the shared story mode, it immediately made me think of A Way Out.
Oh yeah,
which was a great experience. If you've not played that game, play it.
that's a game that needs to come out on PlayStation Plus. I would love for people to buy it. Go buy it. It's awesome. It's the one good EA game, but I could totally see that game coming out on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I mean it is a really great experience.
It's awesome.
It's totally worth playing.
Awesome.
And if you have someone to play it with, you should totally play it.
That's the only way to play it.
So this game having a similar idea where you can like experience different things, but at the same time, I think is great. It gives replayability if you want to play other characters and see, especially since there are different outcomes that can happen depending on the way you play. The little system where it basically tells you like who did what fastest or failed at things. That's a neat thing. That's not really like a selling point for me in a game. But the couch co-op up to 5 players is another really neat idea that I just honestly would not expect, especially in a horror game. Mm-hmm. It's really surprising, and I'm glad they're doing something not only to change up like just the game style in general, but like the genre. So yeah.
Okay, so just to be transparent, River, I played this at E3 and I thought it was really cool. It reminded me of Until Dawn, just looked better. Obviously it's a newer game. Still had some of the weird characterizations and dialogue that I got from Until Dawn that seemed really overly campy, and people are like, "What's a horror movie?" Yeah, but also seemed like the people working on the script, this might be their second language or something. I'm not sure, because things are just kind of like weird. But I liked Until Dawn. I liked what I played of Man of Medan. And visually, it's really cool, the horror elements in it. So I was already kind of interested in this anyway. And people keep saying also this is the spiritual successor to Until Dawn, because now they're trying to do like a shared universe, which I'm just like, why don't you just say Until Dawn's part of it? It's like the first one. I don't know. Anyway. So anyway, I was already excited for this. Already wanted to play it. Was already going to pick it up. But just now finding out that it's going to have these 2 multiplayer modes is really huge for me. Because one thing you kind of said is it adds replayability. I could see a lot of people, because a lot of people played Until Dawn, and then they want their friends to play it, and then they let them borrow it. And sometimes they'd want to watch them play it or whatever. It's a really streamable game too, because there's the choices you make that makes it fun to watch again. This is kind of doing the same thing, but now embracing that social aspect. So people are probably going to want to beat this by themselves or have someone watch. Then they might want to play it online with somebody to see how it goes with somebody else. Now you're giving like some of the input of what happens to somebody else. They're talking about like when you're playing the 2-player mode online, that you're playing this character, they're playing that character. So in a scene where that character might be doing something else, you're playing out your scene while they're playing out their scene, and it's kind of interacting with each other, and you're crafting that story together. That's really fucking cool. That makes it absolutely worth playing again if you didn't play it that way in the first place. The 5-player co-op mode though is fucking awesome, only because like I can't even count how many times I've had like movie night with a bunch of friends watching like good horror movies, shitty horror movies, doesn't matter. Horror movies are always a good bet when it comes to just having friends over and watching a movie. If it's bad, you can make fun of it. If it's good, you can go, whoa, shit, and fucking, laugh at all the scare stuff like that. So having an interactive horror experience with 5 people, where you're all picking a character, and in these games, these characters can die.
Yeah.
So you're playing through the story, and when they die, the story continues anyway, I'm assuming, just like Until Dawn. it's kind of cool because then, like, when it's this person's part of the story in this movie that you're watching with your friends, you pass the controller over to somebody else and they start playing, and it's up to them to see if they live or die, or maybe some of the decisions you made with your character you played with will adversely or positively affect somebody else's
Right,
character. I can see that as a really cool fucking
yeah.
experience. That I would actually really want to try. I think it's genius, and I do typically, like, when there's accolades of like who did the best or whatever. If it's in like in a fun cooperative sense, like, oh, most kills, fucking most deaths, most explosive, most people killed with a grenade or something like that. That's always fun to see or whatever. But it does kind of create like a competitive atmosphere in a
Yeah.
game that's co-op, and sometimes can ruin the experience if you're playing with people who are like, yeah, I'm the fucking best. But in this, I think I see it as more fun because you're playing this game, and if you die or if you don't die, you're having fun either way. And if you are like really shitty at this QuickTime events while they're happening, everybody's watching, people are going to be saying something about it anyway. Like, oh, fuck, you missed it. And you're like, oh, that sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then when it's like, this guy sucked, everybody's going to be like, yeah, he does. Like, fuck, it's going to be like funny. It's going to be like more of a fun thing than people going like, haha, you fucking suck. So I could see, a lot of fun to be had with this. So overall, them adding one multiplayer mode would have been a surprise. Two, though, that's two different experiences outside of playing the game by yourself. I think that's awesome. I hope it works really well. And I can't wait to try it. I think it sounds awesome. So if I was already kind of interested in this game, which I was, I'm definitely interested in now. I will most likely pick it up.
The other like thing to take into consideration with this too is they've already said this is going to be 3 games.
Yeah.
And so they're going to take all the feedback they're going to get off of this, and they're just going to be able to improve that system. So it's really exciting even for the future of the game too. So I don't know. It's really neat. I'm glad, like I said already, I'm glad to see like them take a creative approach to making a horror game be more than just a single player horror experience. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to do multiplayer horror. So
yeah, it's hard to create an interactive, scary experience with multiple people. I think one of the best examples of it is Dead by Daylight, and that game's just fun to me, but it is intense and stressful. So yeah. Last question for you: would you have any interest in trying the 5-player co-op with friends?
no, but I would very much watch.
You can be the 6th person,
Yes.
6th wheel.
I definitely see this as something you could pretty easily probably play with Josh, though. No?
Josh doesn't do well with horror.
You don't think
He'd play,
you don't think
but he'll jump and break something. I've seen that guy jump fucking from everything. I've seen him jump from things you shouldn't jump from. Like 5 minutes later, you go boo, and he just looks at you and then he walks. He goes,
delayed reaction.
yeah, I have so many stories. It's stupid. Josh knows.
I still think you could have a fun like couch co-op night. No? I don't know.
Josh too scared.
Have him and Chris come over,
Josh is a big old scaredy cat.
and then
I'm calling him out.
it'll be more peer pressure for him.
He didn't
then.
play Resident Evil 2. He's scared. He's horrified. And he should be. That game's fucking scary.
I say I've heard nothing but good, but
That game's awesome.
scary things.
Especially with the Thomas the Choo Choo Train and fucking all the weird mods people have in that fucking game. It's this big train just fucking with that stupid
I
song.
saw it.
So good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say on Man of Medan?
No.
Or Man of Medan?
I mean, really, I hope it works out great. And if it does, I hope to see more people take this approach. Not even just with horror games, but just like games in general. Because there's not a lot of games that do this approach. So, like I already said, A Way Out was such a great experience to play. Like it
was awesome.
It was
Possible
beyond
scene.
what I'm used to in a co-op game. So
Yeah, going into it, I was like, oh, I pretty much get what this is going to be. And then we kept playing. I'm like, this is really good. They did a really good job with this.
yeah.
One last thing I want to say. Supermassive Games is a company that has ideas and they try new things. I mean, they made that VR experience that shares some elements from their other game, Until Dawn. But it's like this weird, like fucking roller coaster, shoot targets while getting scared experience. And it seems ridiculous, and it kind of is, but it's still really fun. So it's cool that these guys just like go like, hey, we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
We got an idea, we're gonna do it. And so far, it's worked out for them. So, I mean, until Dawn's supposed to come out on PS3, and then they're like, fuck, we got to remake this. And then they did, and it looks fantastic.
It's a really good looking game.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't fuck around on that. They weren't just like, okay, smooth it out and add some better lighting. They're like, we got to make everything look amazing. Filter. Exactly. All right. Well, let us know in the comments. What do you think, first off, about Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan? Were you interested in that at all anyway? Did you play Until Dawn? But also, what do you think about these multiplayer modes? Do you have interest in either of them? Would you play the 2-player co-op experience, or would you be interested in having movie night with like a bunch of friends, sharing the controller, and seeing how it plays out? Does none of this interest you? You're not big on horror games? Let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Man of Medan. However the fuck you say that. That's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out my streams on Twitch, and only Twitch, because Ubisoft killed my streams on YouTube for probably like another 30 days, hopefully. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. You can check me out, though, at Tasty Senpai, all one word. I'll be streaming this week. Hopefully, reaction to Monster Hunter World Iceborne, Tigrex, and other shit videos. I gotta catch up. They're like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, there's 15 minutes here. It's a lot of shit they released recently, so I'll be watching that and streaming it. So make sure to check that out over on Twitch. Make sure to follow me so you know when I go live. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you'd prefer to listen to us. And we have Discord, link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until the next episode, which will be something this week from me streaming, but also TastyCast this week. Until then, have a good week, guys, and take it easy. And don't get sunburnt.